All right, everybody. So I'm going to show you another shad rig that I'm going to actually. I actually just tied one on my rod a minute ago just to make sure I could do it. I saw on Salt Strong video. I went and did some surf fishing last week. Didn't catch a stinking thing, but I tied a dropper loop for the first time, and I thought, wow, I could actually use that on one of my shad rigs. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to tie a dropper loop and show you another a shad rig that I'm going to use hopefully one day this week, either tomorrow or Friday. And anyway, I'm going to give it a shot and see if this works. So again, I'm going to start with my line. Here's my snap at the end. All right. I'm going to take another snap. I'm going to go up about 10 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to make a loop. All right. Now, when I make this loop, the line that's leading towards the fishing pole, I'm going to take this now and I'm going to wrap it through this loop 5 times. So here's once, here's twice, here's 3 times, here's 4 times, here's 5 times. All right, so I've wrapped this line inside this loop 5 times. Now, all I'm going to do is take this snap and stick it through this hole right here. All right, so I'm going to take my snap, I'm going to stick it through that hole right there. I'm going to grab it with my lips. Just like that. Okay. Now you can make that loop as big or as long as you want. Okay, I made it awful small that time, but I think it'll work. All right, and here's my rig now. So my rig is now going to look like this. I'm going to have a spoon, and I'm going to have a jig. Here we go. So I'm going to use a spoon. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to put this spoon on the end of it. There we go. There's my spoon. Then I'm going to go up 10 inches or so. There's my dropper loop now with my snap. And again, the reason I tie a snap is so when I get ready to tie on a jig, okay, here, I'll put this one on just for right now. I don't know if I'll actually use this one, but there you go. So I'm going to use that hair jig. Well, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. There you go. All right, so there we go. All right, and now I'm going to have my spoon and my jig. And there it is. There's my dropper loop. And there's my spoon. And that's going to be tied onto my shad rig. All right. So the second way to tie this rig is if you've just tied on your leader line and you don't have anything tied on at the end, you're going to go ahead and be able to use this end with nothing tied on to do your wraps. So anyway, here's what I mean. So you're going to put you're going to take and put your snap on, okay? You're going to go down about, wherever you want it to be, 10 or 12 inches, okay? All right, you're going to make your loop. Now, this loop is going to depend on, that's where you're going to try to figure out where do you want that snap, about 12 inches away. And hopefully you guys are much more dexterity, that have much better dexterity than I do. But, all right, so you're going to make your loop. All right. I am really struggling with this for some reason tonight. I don't know why. All right. But again, trying to keep this snap is the problem. It's obviously easier to tie if you're not trying to tie it with a snap. I just want to snap on mine so I can switch out jigs and switch out spoons and not have to retie. I'm just being lazy, maybe. I don't know. But it just seems like that's an easier way to do it. All right. So again, we're going to take this, and now I'm going to find my line and I'm going to make a loop. All right. So there's my loop. Okay. Now you can make this loop as big as you want it, as small as you want it. All right. I'm going to kind of go right there. All right. And then I'm going to simply take this end of this line that doesn't have anything on it, and I'm going to wrap it through this loop. All right. So here we go. There's one. There's two. Three. Four. Five. All right. Now you're going to have these twists up here at the top. All right. So you're going to find the one in the middle, and you're going to pull it apart until you have a loop. And again, when you get old like me, this is probably the hardest part. All right. I missed. There might be a way to do this. Maybe put a pencil or something in there so that it keeps the loop open for you. That's the one thing I liked about doing it the other way, is that I can find this loop a lot easier. But anyway, here we go. All right, so I just found it. All right, so you see there? So I pulled that and made another loop from the twisted lines. Now, all I'm going to do now is take my snap here at the bottom and stick it through that loop. Okay, I'm going to stick it through that loop. Just don't lose sight of what I just did. All right, there we go. Now, when you do that, you're going to see there's going to be loops on one end, loops on the other end. Okay, now don't lose that line. Don't lose that. I'm going to use well. And now I'm going to cinch it down. Now, I probably made that a little too long, a little too big, but I think I'll be okay with that. All right, so now I have my loop, got my snap. Now I'm going to take and tie on a snap here at the other end. All right, here we go. All right, so now I'm going to tie a snap on this end. I got a snap in my loop. So whatever knot you want to use, it's up to you. I probably like to tie a uni knot 6 times. All right, now I'm going to tie that on there. Going to snip off this line. There you go. All right, and now I am going to put on my. Now I'm going to put on my jig on the one end. Okay, and I'm going to now take my snap on this end. take that one off. And I'm now going to put on this jig. If I can again see. There we go. And there you go, everybody. All right. So now I have tied a tandem rig again. Okay. This time I've tied it with a dropper loop, dropper knot. Again, that's way too big. I'm probably going to cut that and retie it. All right. But here's my spoon, and there's my jig, and there's my tandem rig. Okay. And that's a second way to tie that dropper knot, so that you can have a loop and have here. Now, so again, you don't have to tie this with a snap, but I'm going to, because now if I throw this out here and they're not hitting that, I can take that jig off and change jigs, or I can take that spoon off and change spoons. But there you go. All right. So hope everybody gets a chance to go. They're going to probably only be maybe here another week to 10 days. Might get 2 weeks out of this. I've caught shad as late as last week of April. So it just depends on where you're fishing, where they're at, and hope you get a chance to get out there. And I hope this video helps somebody if you take a look at it. And if not, I just made it because I wanted to talk to myself. All right, guys, have a good night.